Well, good afternoon and welcome to today's episode of Random Thoughts. I'm glad you're with me today. Hey, we've been doing a couple of good series. We did the practical side of Christianity. We did an episode on the number 40. No, I'm not going to do an episode on the rest of the numerology. That wouldn't work very well. I'm afraid that would be, I'm going to put it bluntly, boring. But with everything going on today, especially in the world of the creation, meaning floods, rainstorms, for those of you who are here in the Huntsville area, it has been raining, quote unquote, cats and dogs for not all day long, but significant amounts of time over the last week. And it's just very soggy around here. Just like it's soggy all over the country right now. But the question then becomes, what does the church do about quote-unquote natural disasters? What is going on? Why does God not put this envelope around the world and protect it from itself? And I'm going to pull a Star Trekian thing here because I'm a science fiction crazy person. The weather modifiers that they have in the atmosphere. So the weather is always going to be perfect. Well, we don't live in that environment, you know? We don't live in this science fiction-y thing where there's weather satellites up there that's adjusting the weather so the rain is just perfect and you get this wonderful utopia of property with just enough rain, just enough sun. We don't live in that environment. There's only one environment that was like that on Earth, no longer. And there's only one environment that will be like that, and it's not here. Let's talk a little bit more about it. And in a sense, the church's reaction to all of this. How do we, you and I, react and help? More on this in today's episode of Random Thoughts. I think I want to go with starting out at this moment, and by the way, welcome back. This whole utopia idea that we live in a utopian environment. Where do we get that idea from? Where do we understand and think and experience a utopian environment where everything is just perfect? When it rains, we consider it a disaster. Sometimes it is, and not all the time. I mean, on one side of the coin, we thank God that those kind of disasters, like the floods in Kerrville and the floods in Georgetown and the floods in New Mexico, and a lot of the other flooding and raining. I just heard recently that there's flooding going on in Chicago now. A lot of this is signs that we do not live in a utopian environment. We just don't. It doesn't exist. And why do we think it must be? And when natural disasters do arrive, that we either grumble and complain about them, or we're saddened by them that they happened in the first place. They shouldn't have happened. Who says they shouldn't have happened? I'm not saying anything in relationship to the damage that these things cause. And they cause damage. Hundreds of people have died as a result of that flood just in Kerrville alone. What do we do about it? Well, we can't do anything about the natural disasters. God, through St. Paul in Romans chapter 8, and I'll put the Bible verse passage right there below you, talks about creation groaning as if it's in the pains of childbirth. Now, Dads have no idea what that is. Moms, on the other hand, absolutely know what that is. It groans as if it's in pain, and it is in pain because of the one who subjected it to said pain. Creation is not perfect. No matter what we do, what we say, we can't make the world ecologically utopian by policies and activities, whether we do the Green New Deal or whether we do recycling. We can't change the reality that creation is going to be in pain. You know why it's in pain? Because God, because of Adam and Eve, blame them. It's the only ones you can blame, if there is such a thing as blame. It's because of the sin of Adam and Eve. What happened? Well, Adam and Eve ate the fruit of the tree that was in the Garden of Eden, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and God told them not to. There's number one, disobedience. And because of that, there was only one utopian society, and that was it. That was it. The Garden of Eden was the only utopia on earth. No other sin. Because what happened was, the consequence of Adam and Eve's sin was that the earth was broken. The earth became broken. God said to Adam, you're not going to have this really cushy, easy job of saying, oh, the grass needs cutting. Oh, no, it doesn't. It's perfect. No. Creation became imperfect. It's a great reversal. That's a whole other topic right there. Creation became imperfect. It's now starting to hurt. It's got things in it that didn't exist. And then man's evil. Man's evil. Was it God says in Genesis chapter, I think it's in chapter 6 or 7. I'll put the reference down here below. Before he asked Noah to start building the ark. Man's intentions are evil all the time. And then what happened? 40 days and 40 nights of rain coming from the sky that never did before, flooding, catastrophic flooding, water comes up out of the ground, creates cracks and breaks and everything else like that. The flooding covers the whole landmass. People are calling it Pangea now in science classes. The whole landmass is covered with massive amounts of water. How much water? Minimum 10 foot. Minimum was 10 foot over all the land. But I know it's more than that. So, here is this landmass. And then when the water finally recedes, what does it do? It just carves and gouges out, places like the Grand Canyon, Bryce Canyon, Yellowstone, and all of its caldera, and it could explode at any time. Who knows? But the point I'm trying to get at, creation is not utopia. There is only one utopia, that's in heaven. There's only one utopia, one perfect location, and it's going to come. This earth is going to go away. It will be replaced by the new heavens and the new earth, a new location where God and his people will reside. Does that mean God's people just let everything go to hell in a handbasket? No. No. God's people help people in trouble. We can't do anything about the land. We can't do anything what goes on as far as rain and earthquakes and hurricanes and tornadoes. And we can't do anything about those things. We can't put satellites up in the air that keep the weather in check. We can't do that. But what we can do, and we are doing, is helping those people who have been affected by it, who have dealt with loss. And I'm dealing with those families of those little children who died as a result of being carried away by floodwaters. We comfort them. We give them peace. We give them comfort in knowing that God, no matter what happens to them, God is taking care of them. God is caring for his creation. Sometimes it takes a little bit of washing out of the bad so that the good can be replaced. Stuff like that. Bottom line is, God is here through our activity. We take care of people. We shelter them. We nurture them. We feed them, not just with food and clothing, but we feed them on the Word of God that says, God has saved you. And yeah, you're going to struggle. Yeah, you're going to suffer. You have issues. But God has saved you so that you will be with Him. And with Him means living with Him in this broken down world. And yes, living with Him when we get to heaven and live with Him in His utopia. That's what we teach. That's what we do. And that's what we're doing. Many of our members of our congregation at Faith Lutheran Church and School are gathering things to be sent down to Kerrville so that they've got something that they can use in the immediacy of having nothing. So we're doing what we can here on this end. And the church has always been doing things what it can from their points of view. So don't tell us that this is a utopian society and you get all bent out of shape about it. No, this is not a utopian society, never has been, never will be on this side of eternity. But what do we do within it? That's our question. Let me know what you think. Post a comment there below. And we'll see you guys very soon, meaning Sunday morning. Have a good day.